Now at 5, a Joplin man dies after being struck by a pickup truck on South Main Street. Plus, a 6-minute engine burn sends 4 astronauts racing toward the moon. And a better than expected jobs report boosts hopes for a shaky economy.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
It is a weather alert day. Severe weather is headed to the 4 states this afternoon and tonight. This is KOAM News. I'm Tanya Bach. Let's go straight to meteorologist Austin Stantz in the Skywatch Weather Center for the latest.
Yeah, thanks, Tanya. So we got some activity out there right now. You'll see that large shaded yellow area. Let me step out of the way there. That is a severe thunderstorm watch. Goes until 10 p.m. this evening. Now, you'll notice as these storms begin moving in here on your screen, pushing east, we are seeing a couple severe thunderstorm warnings start to pop there in areas like we had Greenwood County. That warning expiring here at 5 o'clock. Doesn't look like they extended that. That's some good news. Still some lightning associated with that storm right now. Also had some hail, just over an inch, so a little larger than a quarter there. Hail dropping with that storm. So we're going to have to keep an eye on these as they continue to push towards the east. Notice these storms continuing here. Right now, they're only moving about 30 miles per hour, but as that cold front kicks in, these storms really going to get moving. We're going to time everything out on when these storms could impact you and your neighborhood coming up.
All right, thanks, Austin. A Joplin pedestrian who was hit in a downtown accident last night has died. Investigators say 76-year-old Danny Dapper Dudley was crossing mid-block between 8th and 9th, not in a crosswalk, when a southbound pickup struck him. The driver was not cited and was cooperative with police. Witnesses say life-saving measures were performed in the street on Dudley, and officers confirmed he was then rushed to an area hospital. The 800 block of South Main Street was closed to all traffic for about 2 hours. The Community Clinic of Southwest Missouri says Dudley was a fixture at the clinic and downtown, known for coffee, stories, and drawings, and revered in the unhoused community. Saying, quote, "It is with heavy hearts we share the passing of our dear friend Dapper. He always had a smile, and he cared for those around him." Kansas Highway Patrol says a 55-year-old Coffeyville, Kansas man was seriously hurt after an SUV struck him yesterday afternoon in Montgomery County. Troopers report that Sean Lickey was crossing in the 200 block of West 11th Street around 1:30 when an SUV traveling east struck him in the outside lane. The driver, a 52-year-old woman from Bella Vista, Arkansas, was not hurt. Lickey was taken to Coffeyville Regional Medical Center. His status is unknown at this time. A new museum experience is about to open in Joplin, featuring 2 completely restored homes in the Murfreesburg Historic District. The Schiffer-Decker and Zelliken homes will open to the public in April, with tickets going on sale April 1st. The multimedia tour includes audio voices from the past, period conversations, and a look at late Victorian life, showing how these families helped shape Joplin's future. Artemis 2 is now out of Earth's orbit and on its way to the moon. The 4 astronauts are running checks to confirm the spacecraft can support future lunar missions. They're about 90,000 miles from Earth and in a few days further out than any human has been.
Integrity, good engine, good control.
And it's go for the moon. For nearly 6 minutes, Orion's main engine fired with 6,000 pounds of thrust to give the capsule a 900-mile-an-hour boost, sending it and its 4 astronauts on a path around the moon.
Humanity has once again shown what we are capable of.
The translunar injection burn also sets up Orion's return to Earth. Mission Control can make small adjustments to the course to set it up for re-entry.
We all wanted to give a shout out to our families first because we are pretty far from Earth and we have not gotten to say hi to them yet.
Overnight, the Artemis crew spoke to the media from space about the journey so far.
Having just experienced incredible views of planet Earth and seeing the entire planet out the window in one pane, knowing that we're about to have some similar views of the moon in that same way is definitely getting me more excited for it.
We're just getting started. You know, we've worked really hard and we have a lot of mission left ahead of us.
Give me the green light.
Earlier Tuesday, the crew awoke to a fitting song, Green Light by John Legend and Andre 3000.
I'm ready to go right now.
And in order to be ready to go for their mission, getting regular sleep is key. It's about a 4-day trip to the moon, living in a space about the size of 2 minivans.
I don't see fold-down beds, so how's it work?
There's no bunk beds.
We were given special access inside the mock-up Orion capsule astronauts used for training at the Johnson Space Center. Inside, each crew member has a sleeping bag.
They tie it off wherever
They need to, and then you get into it. It's got a space for your head to stick out. It's got actually a little band that you can put over your forehead to kind of hold you down.
Is there any trick to sleeping in zero gravity?
There is, from a standpoint of being able to control the crew member and not have them floating around, which is why we have the sleeping bags.
You don't want to play sleeping bumper cars.
Exactly.
Over the next few days, the astronauts are going to be very busy. They have a host of mission objectives. Remember, this is still a test flight, so a lot of things to validate. That includes pressurizing their spacesuits and, of course, documenting their journey. They may well see parts of the moon no human eyes have ever seen before, so just think about the images they'll be sending home. Chris Van Cleve, CBS News at the Johnson Space Center, Houston.
Well, still ahead, strong job growth.
The new jobs report beat expectations, but economists warn the data doesn't reflect the war with Iran. I'm Bradley Blackburn with the numbers and the challenge for people out of work.
And next in Health Watch, hospitals use virtual reality to help patients escape anxiety and pain. Topping today's Health Watch, staying in the hospital isn't easy, but some doctors are trying to make it more bearable by giving patients a digital getaway with virtual reality. CBS's Tina Kraus reports.
Hospital rooms can feel like a maze of beeping monitors and endless waiting, but some patients are getting a chance to make a virtual escape. Tina Hunt is heading to the zoo with the help of a VR headset being tested at a hospital in England.
To take yourself out of the hospital environment and into something that you enjoy, or maybe something that you want to experience new. You may not have seen a lemur.
Studies have found immersive VR significantly reduces anxiety and stress in patients, especially before procedures or during long waits, making them feel less pain and more comfort.
It calms down a lot of their anxiety. It just allows them just to escape the four walls of their hospital ward for like 20 minutes. It just brightens up their day.
Hunt has had lots of hospital stays and says the VR journeys, taking her to all sorts of places, help her forget the clinical setting while she waits for treatment.
I'm currently just stood on a path which I've always wanted to visit. It's like you're there. I can hear the bird song.
The hospital's tech team uses 360-degree cameras to capture sights and sounds from popular spots.
It's like having a TV right in front of you.
Aiming to make trips so realistic, patients can check out for a few minutes without ever leaving their hospital room. Tina Kraus, CBS News, London.
A growing number of hospitals across the U.S. are starting to try virtual reality to help patients manage stress and anxiety. Hospitals for veterans have been using VR for years to help vets stay calm and comfortable in their care. Well, people with obstructive sleep apnea have a 71% higher risk of cardiovascular events and death. A study from Imperial College London and Eli Lilly found that these severe sleep apnea patients also have a higher risk of developing obesity, diabetes, and even anxiety and depression. Researchers say addressing obesity is critical to preventing obstructive sleep apnea. One of the biggest causes of injuries to children is sitting right in your kitchen cabinet. A nationwide children's hospital study found household cleaning products led to 240,000 childhood visits to emergency rooms between 2007 and 2022. Detergent packets and bleach were the biggest cause of injuries due to children ingesting them, while spray bottles were associated with close to a third of injuries. New federal rules will cap student loan borrowing this summer and eliminate Graduate Plus loans. The changes affect students pursuing expensive professional degrees like orthodontics. Kaylee Walker says the funding cuts force her to reconsider how she'll pay for dental school. The policy shift came from federal legislation passed last year aimed at reducing government spending.
I think that the loans should be there for the students. Like if we're going into a field to help the community, it should be something that's like available for us.
Tonight on KOAM News, we will hear from the president of KCU Med about how these student loan caps will affect the administrative side of higher education. That's a look at today's health news. A little later, strong jobs numbers arrive as the war in Iran threatens economic recovery.
And severe storms getting ready to enter the region. We're timing it all out. Coming up.
Here's your Skywatch weather forecast from the trusted Roper Kia Weather Center.
Well, looking across the region, you'll see this area shaded in yellow here. We have an alert day for today. This is a 2 out of 5 or a slight risk of severe weather. You'll see that encompasses the entire region there. As we look throughout this evening, severe storms begin moving in our far western regions right around this 5 o'clock hour, and it'll last throughout midnight tonight. There is a tornado risk, but it's relatively low for tonight, and it's a specific type of tornado called a QLCS tornado. The large hail threat, fairly limited as well. There is still some hail associated with these storms, especially early on, but we're going to see more of a high wind and heavy rain threat throughout tonight, and maybe some small hail as well. Now, taking a look, you'll notice these storms just beginning to move off to my west, and behind me you'll see here we have the severe thunderstorm watch, which is that area shaded in that yellowish orange color that you're seeing there, goes until about 10 o'clock this evening. There's only a couple counties that aren't included in that tornado watch here, so that includes Lawrence and Berry County, and then down into Benton County. Those three counties are not in that severe thunderstorm watch for right now. That still could change, keeping a close eye on it. All right, so the storms that we have right now off to the west, here we are looking at Chautauqua County. We got a severe thunderstorm warning out there right now. Look at the hail with these storms. These three storms that we're seeing here, all dropping some hail right now. That one with the severe thunderstorm warning on it, we take a little bit of a closer look. Notice this area right here shaded in yellow. That is hail size over 1.5 inches. So we're getting closer to golf ball sized hail there. So we're going to have to keep a close eye on that one. But it has kind of tamed down significantly and now come down below 1 inch for right now. With this storm, though, it's continuing to move northeast at about 40 miles per hour. So we're looking at Otter, Cloverdale, Lafayette between 521 and about 552. So the storm's not moving relatively that fast right this second, but it is going to pick up speed as that cold front begins to move in. Elk Falls, 556. Hail, you're looking at 6 o'clock, 6:03 for Longton there. Again, this storm moving northeast at about 40 miles per hour. Keeping a close eye on it. Now, here's 30-second and range line. Notice that kind of overcast skies right now. It's really windy out there. Cloud base is really low. Seeing a lot of shear with these storms, which is giving them a little bit of spin to it, which is going to help support a low tornado threat. Not very high. We're seeing winds out of the south, 22 miles per hour, gusting near 40 at times. All right, well, let's talk about this storm system. So as we're heading into this evening, this line begins to develop, starts pushing in. This is kind of where we're at right now. This line pushes in around 6 o'clock. Cold front off to the west, not on top of those storms right away, but as we go throughout the evening, this cold front really gets pushing in, and this line of thunderstorms shoots to the southeast here and is really out of our region by the midnight hour. So taking a closer look, here's 7 o'clock. Storms still in our western counties here, pushing into the 8 o'clock hour. We're looking at areas like Fort Scott, Pittsburgh, Columbus, Welch, Nowata. You're getting in on some of that wind there as well. And then as we make our way to the 9 o'clock hour, we're starting to head into our central portions of our region. So between 9 and 11 central portions of the region, then from there on around midnight, things start to get a little messy and start to weaken a little bit. We have our Skywatch storm tracker there. That's the screen that you're seeing there. Let's pull that up real quick and we'll take a look at that, and we can see that we're seeing some cloud cover out there right now. He's facing west. He's in Chautauqua, Tanya. So we're waiting for those storms off to the southwest that we were looking at in Chautauqua County. There's also some down in northeastern Oklahoma. These storms will begin to move in, and we're going to get a nice look at a pretty decent shelf cloud as that line pushes in.
And we'll definitely be keeping an eye on that for sure. All right, thanks, Austin. Well, a new partnership in Joplin is helping give shelter pets a better chance at finding a home. Sparklight is teaming up with the Joplin Humane Society for a campaign called Connect for a Cause. For every new mobile line activated this month, Sparklight will donate money to the shelter, helping cover food, medical care, and daily needs for animals waiting to be adopted.
I am personally a Sparklight customer, so it's really great for me to see a company that I use in this community trying to give back to these animals. It's something that I am invested in this on multiple levels.
Shelter leaders say these donations are critical, allowing them to keep adoption costs low and focus on placing pets in the right homes. Well, coming up, new jobs data shows promise, but workers are still struggling to find work. Topping today's Consumer Watch, the latest jobs report beat expectations, but there are warning signs about where the economy may be headed. And for many Americans, finding a job is still a struggle. CBS's Bradley Blackburn looks at the new numbers.
The new report shows U.S. employers added 178,000 jobs last month, and the unemployment rate ticked down from 4.4% to 4.3%. The data is far better than expected, especially after February's report showed 133,000 jobs lost. Bankrate senior economist Mark Hamrick says it's good news for a shaky economy.
We brace for something that could be quite negative, but we get a doubly better than expected jobs report.
The biggest gains came in healthcare, with a rebound after a nurses' strike. Construction, manufacturing, and transportation sectors also saw increases. But experts warn the data doesn't fully reflect the impact of the Iran war, with rising oil and gas prices increasing the risk for higher inflation and slower job growth.
Employers, like consumers, are facing a great deal of uncertainty, and all of them are facing affordability constraints where they're having to pay more for all kinds of things.
I was laid off from Amazon as part of the first large-scale layoffs back in 2023.
Dan Roth has been hunting for a job as a recruiter for 3 years and says it's only gotten harder to land an interview.
It's a lot tougher. I've gotten rejected because of my resume. You're overqualified for this. Because companies assume not that you can't do the job, but that the second something else comes around that you're immediately going to bolt.
Economists say many companies are in a no hire, no fire position that makes it a challenging time to look for work. Bradley Blackburn, CBS News, New York.
The stronger than expected jobs numbers could give the Federal Reserve more reasons to hold off on cutting interest rates. With fewer women in their mid-30s through their mid-50s expected to be in the workforce over the next decade, Indeed says listings for remote and hybrid jobs are down 14% in 4 years. Experts warn as flexibility fades, more women get pushed out, balancing kids, elder care, and rising costs. Career coaches say negotiate beyond pay, more paid leave, childcare support, and pre-tax accounts to help cover health care. United Airlines is rolling out a new tool in its mobile app showing estimated TSA wait times at major airports. The pilot starts at United's U.S. hubs, including Chicago, Denver, Houston, L.A., Newark, San Francisco, and Washington, D.C. United says the tracker updates throughout the day, including standard and pre-check lanes, so travelers can plan ahead after recent security backups nationwide. Final check of the forecast is next. Up next on the CBS Evening News, a woman is found after she went missing 3 decades ago as a teen. How investigators were able to locate her and the message they have for similar cases. And then on KOAM News at 6, new student loans caps force future doctors to consider the military. Plus, an Erie centenarian keeps family Easter traditions alive with homemade noodles. And in sports, Ben McLeish has the latest on the success of the Frontenac softball team. Stay with us for the CBS Evening News and KOAM News at 6. Final check of the forecast?
Yeah, we got some storms out there right now. Taking a look at the radar, we're seeing those storms off to our west, moving between 30 and 40 miles per hour. One severe thunderstorm warning in Chautauqua County right now. That storm, 60-mile-per-hour wind gust, quarter-sized hail. Severe thunderstorm watch goes until 10 p.m. this evening, encompassing almost the entire region there. So we'll be timing these out throughout the evening tonight. Chris Warner and myself are both here in the Weather Center, so we're going to make sure we stay on top of this evening.
And we have the storm tracker out there live as well.
We sure do. I think Chautauqua is where he's at right now, facing southwest.
That is right. Well, thank you for joining us. The CBS Evening News is next, and we'll be back here for KOAM News at 6, and we'll see you then. Have a great evening and an even better weekend.